Title: The Lone Star State's Dark Horse, Will Hurd, Gallops into Presidential Race. TLDR. The Texan plot twist in politics. Former Representative Will Hurd, once the solitary black Republican in the House, is shaking things up, tossing his hat into the presidential race. Packing a solid punch against illegal immigration, inflation, and a different vision than Trump, this dark horse might just be getting started. Story. Alright, y'all. Fasten your seat belts and hold onto your cowboy hats because we're about to dive into the heart of the Wild West. You know who we're talking about, the one and only Will Hurd. The former CIA officer turned representative, who's famously known for pulling election upsets, has just announced his bid for president. Can he pull off the biggest upset of them all? So, let's roll the tape. In a video where he puts his presidential aspirations on the line, Hurd does not mince his words. He slams illegal immigration and inflation, calling them the top reasons he's ready to serve a full course of Hurd-style politics. But isn't it interesting how he connects these issues to the American dream? What's your take on that? But let's not forget Hurd's background. This ain't his first rodeo, folks. Before swapping espionage for the political arena, our man was deep undercover as a CIA officer working in counterterrorism. How's that for a career shift? And it was all smooth sailing for Hurd, defeating incumbent Democratic Representative Pete Gallego in 2014 and then pulling off a spectacular re-election win in 2018 by less than 1,000 votes. Talk about living on the edge. But here's a twist. When Hurd announced his retirement, he shrugged off any whispers about a tough re-election. Instead, he declared he was stepping down to help diversify the GOP, being the only black Republican in the House at the time. Now, that's what we call shaking things up. But what do you think? Can Hurd truly bring a touch of diversity to the GOP? As for Hurd's thoughts on current President Biden, he's not exactly sending him a thank you note. President Biden can't solve these problems, or won't, Hurd says, laying down the gauntlet. And he's got no love for Donald Trump either, labeling him a lawless, selfish, failed politician. With these heavyweights in his crosshairs, Hurd certainly isn't playing it safe. But is this the sort of bold strategy that wins presidential elections? Now here's where we leave it with you. Hurd is a dark horse candidate who isn't afraid of anyone, not even Trump. He's ready to articulate a different vision. He's concerned about immigration, inflation, and believes the American dream is under threat. But, is America ready for Will Hurd's vision? Only time will tell. Hey, what do you think? Can this Lone Star dark horse leave the big names in the dust and gallop his way to the White House? Disclaimer: this article is for informational purposes only and does not constitute investment advice, political recommendation, or an endorsement of any particular candidate or view.